Okay, so this is the screencast for Project 4. I'm just going to go through the rubric to show that I've implemented everything. So first, let's go through and execute the code. So here's the graphical interface, and the first step would be to illustrate Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. So we've got, if you click back on main menu, you'll go back to main menu with any of the buttons. But so we've got standard Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. Say we have apple, A, bear, B. And I'm not going to add a timer this time around. So start, game status, we've got our Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. It highlights for where you're going to go. It's bear's turn. You can go through and execute this. Just trying to get a win, a little bit more difficult with Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. Okay, let's see, we want B. There is no B's. B. A, B, and then as you see it highlights because where I'm selecting there has already won the game, and so you can go and select anywhere again and again. Kind of the trick for Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe, always choose where it's already won so that you can go around the board and make it easier to win. Okay, and so you can see bear won here because it has 3 in a row. Okay, and then I can go click restart. It starts itself over again. I click the middle. You're going to highlight into the middle. So on and so forth. That's illustrating the Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. Return to the main menu. And so that's once again placing marker by clicking or touching, and also the Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. And then we've got the Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe with computer player, and so we can go and start the game again. Once again, not doing a timer yet. So as you see, I just have the computer player doing the next open spot in the grids. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so the computer's just going in the grids, like you see, next open spot. So now we've got X again, and once again, since this is 1, and the computer selected the very top over here, and then this is already a 1 board, I can go anywhere with X. Okay, now X again. So let's see, I want to win this board, let's say. Player 1-1, cool. So we can restart, it starts itself all over again. So we go return menu, and so now I'll just do it with computer because it's easier, but I'll do a timer of 1 second, and I'm going to set the computer marker to say D, and so let's start the game. So you'll see you're going to go through the computer, it's just going to keep iterating and playing through itself as you're not doing any movements, and shortly it will win the game. Okay, so the computer won, and so then the next thing is, as you can see, you can't click anywhere outside of the border now. Restart, it's going to start itself up again, so now we can go back to Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. I just wanted to quickly show that you can't click outside of any of the borders of the highlighted. It won't allow you. I've restricted that, given the rules of Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe. Okay, and so now that was Tic-Tac-Toe, and then I chose to implement a 3+ player, and I did that in Ultimate. And so as you see, there's player 1, player 2, player 3. So I have default values set where it's just the player names are player 1, player 2, player 3 if you don't select anything, as well as X, O, and S. So you can go through again. Gets a little more difficult when you've got 3 players to keep track of the markers. Okay, O, S, so it should be an X, O, S, X. Okay, so I'm just going to try and do a tie because I'm just randomly placing because it's a little difficult to keep track of what should go where. And once again, like you can see, you can't click outside of the defined allowed slot. Okay. Like I said, I'm just going through and getting a tie to illustrate that. It's a little harder to get winning with 3 if you're not really paying attention, so you can see that it's a tie, so you can go through and restart, start all over again, entire process as such. That's the Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe with the 3+ players. And then I also did different difficulty levels with the standard computer, so once again, you can play with a friend if you want to. It will say if someone wins, you can restart the game. Got the clapping. return back to the main menu, and so now I've implemented different computer levels. And this is one thing to note: if you do not click a difficulty level, you will get an error. So you have to click a difficulty level in order to play the computer. So if I just choose easy, that's just filling in the next empty slot, as you'll see. So it becomes really easy to cheat the system there, very easy if you pick up the pattern. Okay, and then we have, if you play computer, let's say we want to do difficult. Difficult's still pretty simple. This, it's randomly placing computer components unless the computer, like you'll see, it's randomly placing them on the board unless it actually has, if it has an available spot to go to. Okay, so after a brief recess, so I found that, as you saw in a little bit earlier, that even though a timer wasn't set, a timer was still going and the computer player was still drawing marks. Went through and fixed that. There was just a Boolean variable that I forgot to set to false once I clicked return to main menu. So now that's fixed, as you can see. If we go to return menu, if we went back to Ultimate Tic-Tac-Toe with the timer and we start the game at 1 second, as you'll see here, it's going to go once again, again, and again, again. I can click restart. It'll end up again. If we go restart and we go back to play against computer to show you again, and without adding a timer, and the difficulty level difficult, if you see, the computer player does not draw after 1 second, so that was just a Boolean fix there. And then we can go in like that, restart, and like I said, level, the computer players is randomly drawing, but it does check before doing a random position on the board to see if there's a place, if it puts 1-0, that it will win, as you can see here. But if you go in and do it again, it's just randomly drawing, but now it's going to draw over here if I hadn't won. So return back to main menu, and then back to the very end. Difficulty play against is impossible. And impossible with resources online, there's no way for you to win, being the second player, which is a computer player, unless the first player makes multiple mistakes, but you can guarantee a tie. And so I found that algorithm. And so the computer first will go in the middle if you don't select the middle, or it will go on one of the sides. So if you see here, the computer's going to say, oh, I can win. It will first going to check to see if it will win, and if it can't, then it's going to check to see if it can block a position for you winning, as you can see there. Okay. So, like I said, it's going to try and block you from winning. And that's the difficulty level, so restart. And then the player statistics, like you see H, Apple, the player statistics are persistent over time. But that's primarily for, at the moment in time, since that wasn't a grading rubric, that's for the standard tic-tac-toe. I haven't implemented that in the ultimate yet. Okay, play against friend, just pretty much everything. That's pretty much everything.